Hey guys, today I'll be answering the question of what are the dangers of working on yourself while in a relationship. Because normally there is this concept where I think I talked about it in the past, even like where you use your relationship to work on yourself. Let's say you come into a relationship together, but now you use this relationship to work on yourself, like to work on your traumas, to work on your unhealed wounds. It kind of becomes this conscious relationship where you are using the relationship to work on yourself. Because something about a relationship is it's a place where some of the things you don't know about yourself will be revealed. Let's say you may find that you are insecure, but you didn't really know about these things because you were not in a relationship. But once you now jump into the relationship, you realize that maybe you are insecure, maybe you have abandonment wounds, maybe you have mommy issues, daddy issues, unhealed trauma, negative beliefs, or just a lot of things about yourself. Like a relationship will help you uncover those things because a relationship is kind of this closed room where you don't have an option but to work on yourself. Because when you're not in a relationship, actually, you may just run away from those things because like you feel that what's the rush, or you may never even see them. But because now you're in a relationship, the things which may be buried in your subconscious part of your mind, they come to the surface because the relationship triggers those things. It may trigger the things which happened to you in the past. So there's always this aspect of like, let's have a relationship together. And then now, once we have the relationship, once we are committed, we start working on ourselves. We start working on our self-esteem, working on our stuff, working on our boundaries, working on all those things. So it's a very, very beautiful kind of relationship when two people commit to work on themselves. But there are also dangers to it. Yes, it's beautiful because you get to grow, but one of the dangers to it is that sometimes you may not really want to work on something. Let's say you realize that you are afraid of expressing yourself when you are in the relationship. Let's say you have people pleasing tendencies. So what happens is you may be afraid of working on this aspect because working on it may end the relationship. Because when you start, let's say when you are able to work on something like expressing yourself, this expressing yourself will mean that you'll be able to say no to your partner to some aspects. You'll be able to challenge your partner on some of the things or on some of the behaviors they are engaging in. So the benefit of you working on expressing yourself is actually very, very good for you. But for the relationship for you to stay together in the relationship, it may not be that okay, because you may end up separating, because you may end up expressing yourself. And the more you express yourself, the more you really feel that maybe that kind of relationship is not for you. So because this thing is kind of a collective ego or a collective identity, like you are a couple, you may shy away from working on that aspect of yourself because the benefit is you growing, but at the expense of the relationship. So working on yourself while in the relationship is a great thing, but sometimes it may not be the greatest thing because sometimes it may mean that maybe the solution is outside the relationship. But because you are working on yourself in the relationship, you may not be able to see some aspects of you which needs to be worked on. So it's nice because it exposes some things, but sometimes you may be afraid to really, really challenge everything, even the relationship in itself. So it's really good to have a conscious relationship, but always know that at times the solution is walking away from the relationship, not staying in the relationship. Hope that makes sense, guys. So it's more like a better analogy would be like, it's like being in a room and then you've committed to find solutions in that room, which is now the room can be likened to the relationship. So what happens is, what if there is no solution in that room? What if the solution is outside the room? Of course, it will mean that it will really be hard for you and you'll never find a solution. So it's better to be in that relationship. Yes, work on yourself in the relationship, but also tell yourself that it's if I work on myself and I have a healthy relationship with myself and this relationship doesn't work, it's very, very okay. So be willing to work on yourself in the relationship, but be willing also to step out of the relationship. Maybe the solution is outside that house. It's not an easy thing because you've invested in the relationship for a very long time and you don't want to leave the relationship. But that's the price sometimes you have to pay when you work on yourself. Hope that makes sense. So a conscious relationship is really amazing, but sometimes you should be able to be willing to lose the relationship and then find you. Hope you found that informative, guys. Until next time, have a nice day.